It looks like Donald Trump has now turned his attention to attacking Fox News hosts, of all people. To set the stage here, just days ago, after Trump's Art of the Dealership Tesla commercial on the White House lawn, this aired on Fox.
Out there, he surveyed some cars. It was happening as, Americans' 401k accounts were facing some struggles because of this tariff war happening right now. Was that an appropriate thing for the president to do there? Was it sensitive to the moment that we're in, buying a car, using the White House as a backdrop for that?
Well, first of all, he's promoting American-made products. I applaud him for doing that. He's not the first president to do that. Most presidents have done something like it in the past.
And because Trump has skin thinner than the most delicate strand of silk, he felt the need to weigh in. Posting today on Truth Social, I watched Jackie Heinrich from Fox over the weekend, and I thought she was absolutely terrible. She should be working for CNN, not Fox. Not surprisingly, I later found out that she's a fan of the White House Correspondents Association. So that we're clear, Trump felt the need to attack a host on a network that apparently isn't already groveling enough because she committed the cardinal sin of not aligning herself 100% with everything he says or does. I mean, I'm sorry, but have you ever seen a human being so fragile, so aggressively insecure that unless he gets 100% total, absolute fealty, he will personally attack you? Like, this guy is the president of the United States. How do you become the president and still retain so much insecurity that you feel the need to lash out at a reporter on a friendly network for a week-old story because you're just that incapable of letting even the smallest perceived slight go by without lashing out? And surprisingly, Heinrich is getting backup from at least one colleague who isn't so obsequious that he'll cow to Trump's every move. Brit Hume took to Twitter writing, "I watched her too. She plays it straight, covering both sides of a story, and has certainly played fair with you. You may have a case against some White House reporters, but not Jackie Heinrich." In fact, the optics were so egregious that even Fox's Peter Doocy asked Trump about the tone deafness of hawking cars while the rest of the country is watching their 401ks plummet and costs surge.
What is your message, President Trump, buying a new car while there are some folks who will see this clip at home and they are struggling with their retirement accounts down at the moment, uncertainty about work ahead?
Well, I think they're going to do great. I think our country had to do this. We had to go and do this. They've taken away, other countries have taken away our business. They've taken away our jobs. I did it initially very strongly against, as you know, China and some others. In the first term, and it was a very successful term. We had no inflation. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. And then we had COVID, which we had to straighten out, so I didn't want to be doing anything with respect to other countries at that time. And we did a great job with it. We handed the stock market over. It was higher than it ever was. And think of that, higher than it ever was to that point before. And nobody thought that was even possible. We did a great job. But we had the greatest economy in history. This economy, in my opinion, is going to blow it away. But what I have to do is I have to get the workers back. I have to get the factories open. We have 90,000 factories and plants are closed from what you had just prior to NAFTA, which is not very long ago. 90,000, think of it, 90,000 factories and plants are closed from what it was. And it's just not right. So, and we gave it away. Presidents before me gave it away, and I could name every one of them. But they gave it away, and we're taking it back. We're taking our jobs back.
And of course, the ultimate irony is that the hill Trump has decided to die on here is that he used the White House South Lawn for a taxpayer-funded commercial to help further enrich not regular Americans, but the wealthiest person on the face of the earth.
Wow. That's beautiful. This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer. That's beautiful. Wow.
When did you buy?
Which car are you going to buy?
The one I like is that one.
How does this work?
And I want that same color.
Are you going to put down a credit card? Elon, would you take a personal check from the president?
I do it the old I give checks.
Sure.
I like checks.
I think his credit's good.
Do you still have access?
I like a check better than this modern system of all of a sudden there's money in your account, nobody knows. I like signing a check.
And in case you had any doubt about the extent to which this was a commercial, here is a photo taken by Getty photographer Andrew Harnick. Trump is quite literally reading from a Tesla sales pitch. You can literally see the prices on that piece of paper. If he was a used car salesman on a lot, this wouldn't look any different. So let's recap here. The market is in freefall. We've officially entered correction territory. Trump himself won't even rule out the prospect of a recession. And yet, his priority these days is doing a commercial on the White House lawn for the literal richest man in the world. I hope everybody who voted for Trump on this pretense that he would lower costs only to watch him crash the economy can see where his focus is right now. Because it's not on you, it is on the one guy who has more money than most of the rest of the United States combined. And in case you had any doubt that helping Elon and his stock price were what Trump was trying to do, well, here's Trump quite literally just coming out and saying it.
Let's get downloaded as well. You can thump your music.
You can do it. I just looked at it. I looked at that dashboard. You can do anything.
Mr. President, you buying a Tesla will boost Tesla sales and boost
Well, I
their
hope
stock?
it does. Look.
Was that your goal?
I care
by doing
about
this?
one thing. When somebody's a great patriot, they shouldn't be hurt. He's a great patriot. He didn't know me from Adam until we met a little bit when I was in my first term, but he came out, he endorsed me very strongly.
In other words, the same political party that lost its fucking mind over the prospect that Hunter Biden was cashing in on his father's influence is now watching Trump use the White House to stage taxpayer-funded commercials for Elon Musk's car company. But hey, I guess it's okay when Republicans do it, huh? But the reality is that Donald Trump is broadcasting who his priority is. And here's a hint. It's not all those Americans who he pretended to care about during the campaign. It's not all those Americans who he pandered to about high grocery costs and high housing costs and high rent costs and high egg costs. Once he got your votes, once he got what he needed out of you, he pivoted instantly to the people who he actually cares about, his donors and Elon Musk. There is a reason that Medicaid and food stamps and Social Security are on the chopping block right now, while tax cuts for billionaires are the number one priority. It's because Donald Trump does not care about his supporters. They were nothing more than a vehicle for his power. He is showing you who he cares about right now. That's why your costs are going up, and instead of finding time to fix that, he instead found time to help the world's richest man get just a little bit richer.